Yeah, so Minnesota's had a pretty crummy offseason. J.J. McCarthy is out for the year, I think, with a torn meniscus, and Darnold is officially the starter. Jordan Addison was carted off at practice yesterday. Minnesota was already plus 1,000 to win the division before this. What do you think their chances are at winning anything at this point? And should the Vikings just go full out tank and trade Justin Jefferson to maybe the Chiefs?
No, they haven't. No, okay, they're not going to trade Justin Jefferson. And this is brutal for them because So I couldn't believe this fact, but then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, I guess it kind of makes sense. J.J. McCarthy is going to be the first quarterback drafted in the first round in the common draft era, which means since 1967. So we're talking about more than 55 years. To miss his entire rookie season with injury without ever playing a single snap. So you might say, well, that's crazy. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, that would mean you would have to get injured before week 1, which is what happened to him. So it is relative. We've had guys sit their whole rookie season. We've had guys like Anthony Richardson play briefly, get hurt, and then miss time. He's the first round quarterback ever to miss his entire rookie.
Was that the first game?
No, but that was not his rookie year. He got injured in year 2, and there have been plenty of guys to play 0 snaps their rookie year, but not because of injury. It was because of a Mahomes-Alex Smith situation, but even in that situation, Mahomes played the final game of that season. So it is brutal for Minnesota for this season. The bright side is twofold. One is the torn meniscus is a tricky one because there's 2 procedures you can do, and it's counterintuitive as far as the impact it has and how it works. If you tear your meniscus, you can do a procedure where they just trim the meniscus, basically shorten it, and you can be back in a month. The other option they have is to repair the meniscus, fix the tear, and you're out 4 to 6 months. So why wouldn't they just trim it? The reason you choose to repair it and not just trim it is because the trim can shorten your career and lead to longer-term knee issues. Dwayne Wade is a guy who early in his basketball career suffered a torn meniscus. They trimmed it, and he would tell you that's one of the reasons that 8-9 years later, he had all those knee issues, and now he's calling the Olympics alongside Noah Eagle, watching LeBron, his draft mate, play in the Olympics when D-Wade's career ended years ago. So I was worried that the Vikings were going to, and JJ was going to opt to do the trim. Because, man, I don't want to miss this full season. You do a trim, I could be back out there by week 2 or 3. They did the judicious, smart thing, but it's just so whack for them that he's now out for the year.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. Go
ahead.
And their over-under is 2.5 now. Do you think that's a little, is that a little crazy?
No, I know the producers put that in there. That's impossible that's true.
Yes.
That's not your mistake. There's no chance that's accurate. And if the producers show me that is correct, I will put $50,000 on it before the end of the podcast.
He put it in the rundown. Yeah,
okay, but that's their division wins. So they were the producers wrong twice. There's 0%. It's 2.5. Division wins. You only get 6 games.
No respect for Sam.
So yeah,
Darnold.
2. No. I honestly doubt it changed their over under much because a rookie JJ McCarthy versus Sam Darnold, who's just going to be bad, but is a 7-year vet. Their over-under before the injury was 7.5. My guess is it's still right around that. Still, so
Yeah,
I don't actually think it impacts their ability. It lowers their ceiling this year because maybe JJ was going to light the world on fire, and I did love his performance in that preseason game. But it doesn't really make them, the worst team in football this season, anything like that. It's just a bummer because you wanted him to take his lumps this season.
Yeah.
You wanted him to learn from this season. Now, one bright side is that I think JJ was going to be, if he played week 1, the second youngest quarterback to ever start a game in the NFL. The youngest was actually Darnold. He's 21 years old, okay? So even with him missing this year, he's going to start his career at 22 years old. Compare that to, for example, Michael Penix, who is 24, Bo Nix, who turns 25 this season, or at the very end of this season. So he's still so young that I think he'll be okay. It's just, if you're a Viking fan, you've had such a sad offseason. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.